Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Big Chetty, and today I have something a little bit different for you guys. I'm still working on some other game reviews and other videos for you guys, as well as posting clips from my stream and some shorts here on YouTube. And if you haven't checked out my streams, check them out here. I'm live on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok, Big Chetty, on all three platforms, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 8 to midnight Eastern Standard Time. So today I wanted to go over my top favorite games of all times, the games that made me me. I saw a little while ago my favorite streamer, Moist Critical, used a website called topsters3.org. It's basically this website that helps you categorize and put games, movies, books, and sort of in a ranking system and to help you organize your things and thoughts. And I really like that idea, and I thought, you know what? I want to share with you guys the lovely people that what games made me, what games that I absolutely love. The games, the way I saw it, the games that I couldn't live with, the games that I spent a lot of hours with, the games that might not necessarily be the best games of all time, the maybe not the best critically rated or perhaps have aged not so well over time, but they're games that just they mean a lot to me. I had some, and I think there's some merit to them, and I think also that there's a lot of games on this list that I'm about to show you that I think everyone should play at least once. I think with my list, I think there's something on my there's something for everybody on my list. There's a variety of stuff, and I'm excited to share with you guys. So this is going to be a longer video. This was supposed to be a top 50. I couldn't do top 50. I managed to get top 60. Originally, I started with over 200 games. That would have been too long, and I had to really cull the list down to the games that really, really, really were special to me. So I'm going to go over each game, maybe 1 to 2, maybe 5 minutes maximum. I don't know. We'll see, but it will be a longer video, so sit back, enjoy. Maybe put it on while you're doing something. And if you're actually going to watch the whole thing, I might throw up some gameplay of each video, or of each game. Sorry, I'm going to put a footage of each game while I'm yapping about it. And please feel free to comment. Let me know if you agree, disagree, what you like, what you dislike. And of course, just because your game's not on this list doesn't mean I hate you or this game. This is my list. This is my personal list of the games that made me me. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here's the list using topsters3.org. Pretty handy little website for organizing your thinks and thoughts. As you can see, the number 1 slot at the very top left there is covered up. Now, if you watch my streams, you know what my favorite game of all time is, but if you don't know what it is, stay tuned for the end. You'll find out what it is. I think it may surprise you. Okay, so starting out in the number 60 slot, we have Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. This is a very, very strange and unique game that came out, I think, sometime 08, 09. This was one of the games that I rented at Blockbuster when I was younger. Remember Blockbuster? Over the summer, I would get to my mom, my grandpa, my aunt. They would take me to go Blockbuster, rent a game, keep me quiet for a bit, and it usually worked. You know what I mean? Some McDonald's, some game, keep me quiet. And over the years, I rented a lot of games and movies from Blockbuster, but this one really stands out because I had never heard of it. I was maybe 11 or 12. I didn't really use the internet the way I use it today, or really the way anyone uses it today. I wasn't really up to speed on gaming news. I didn't really follow any gaming news platforms, and they did exist while they were different back then, but I just wasn't familiar with a lot of games and news back then. So this game kind of came out of nowhere for me. And basically, it's a very meta comedy third-person action shooter. You play as this video game character named Matt Hazard who's washed up, and his character gets bought out by a new company, and he has to go on this crazy adventure as he fights all of his old retro enemies from the 80s. It's very tongue-in-cheek, very meta. The writing is very funny, and it's a half-decent third-person shooter. It's not very long, but it's very, very funny. The jokes land. I actually went back to play it not too long ago to see if it was still funny, and yeah, it is. It works, and I'm hoping, on a side note, for all the games on this list, I would like to play all of these games on stream for you guys at some point. I have played some of them before, but I would like to play and make sure, like my personal list here, that all the games get played at some point. So Eat Lead, the story of, or was it the return of Matt Hazard? Sorry, Eat Lead, the return of Matt Hazard. That's the bottom of my list. But still, one of my favorite games of all time. I would not be the man I am today without it. Very, very silly, very stupid, but I love it. Number 59, we have Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike for the Nintendo GameCube. This was probably my first Star Wars game. I can't really remember. I am a huge Star Wars fan. This is the third game in this is the third game in the trilogy of Star Wars Rogue Squadron games where you're simply just flying X-wing, A-wing, going on missions with Wedge. Uh, but this one is probably regarded as the worst because it added on-foot sections. And the on-foot sections are not very good. They weren't very good then, and they've aged pretty poorly now. However, I think graphically there's a little bit of an improvement compared to the second game. There's, I think, more unique missions in this game. Uh, there is an emphasis on more movie stuff in this game too, which for me was good because that's when I started watching the movies as a kid. There's a couple references to the Clone Wars movies, or the Clone Wars, I guess, lore, which I really like. There's a co-op version in this game that has the campaign from the second game in there as well. So it's really packed with content. So for me, that would be my preferred Rogue Squadron game, which I know is kind of a hot take, but I really like that game. Very fun. You should definitely check it out. Number 58, City Skylines. There's not much to say about this game. It's a game where you just build a city. That's all you do. You just build a city. You're the mayor and you build roads. You don't really even build buildings. You kind of just zone areas and then people build the buildings up. A very relaxing game. Very stress-free, very relaxing. A game that I like to pick up every few months. I don't play it all the time, but every few months I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like building a city, And the game has aged a little bit now. Like the graphics aren't so pretty, and some of the sizing and measurements in them are a little off. The game's got some problems, but if you're looking for a city builder to just sit back and build roads like the old Sim City games, like that, those were so good. City Skylines is just a fantastic game in my opinion, and something that I've sunk a lot of hours into. A very relaxing game. I often would come home and play that a lot. So very, very fun game. Okay, number 57, something a little strange. Just Cause 2. Some of you may be familiar with the Just Cause series. Just Cause 2 changed my summer. I rented this one from Blockbuster. This was also a Blockbuster rental. I was at my grandma's, and I was like, that looks cool. Let's try it. Because I, again, didn't know gaming news. Wasn't following stuff. And I was blown away at how big the world was. This is a PS3, Xbox 360 title, and the world was massive. It was the first time that I really felt that I was in some open world kind of sandbox experience. Because in this game, you got a grapple hook, you're a spy, you're shooting, you can grab on helicopters, vehicles, you can explore. There's boating, there's swimming. There's just so much stuff to see and do. Now, mind you, today it's a pretty empty world, and there actually isn't that much stuff to do. But when that was released, yeah, there was so much to see and do. And the world, again, for a PS3 game, that world is surprisingly large. The story was whatever. It's pretty cheesy, whatever. But it was a really fun game. The shooting was very arcadey, very fun. There's lots of destruction and chaos. That's pretty much what the whole game is. You're going through a story, but you just have to blow up army bases and steal jets, and it's just this really crazy sandbox that I really have a fondness in my heart for. And that was the last one I enjoyed. I did not like Just Cause 3. I was foaming at the mouth when Just Cause 3 got announced. I didn't like it. Someone explain that to me. Why is Just Cause 3 and 4 not as good as 2? I don't know. Can't explain it. Just not. Number 56. We're going to move on to kind of a rarity on my list. This is a sports game. I don't really like sports games. I think they're pretty boring. I don't really like simulation sports game. Any NHL, NFL, 2K. I'm just not into the sports games. I don't like them. I don't like sports in real life. I don't like sports in virtual reality. Like I just don't. I'm not a sports guy. You're gonna find very, very, very few sports games on my list. Just because I get really bored and I think the games are boring themselves. But this game, NHL Hits 2003. This was not made by EA. Oh, I think, EA might have had something to do with it, but it was made by Midway, which they're known for making very arcadey games. And that's exactly what this game is. It's arcade hockey. It's a game where you can power up your hockey players. You can punch people into the sides of boards. There's less players in the team. It is completely just an arcade experience, but there's tons of like hidden ranks. There's a zombie team. It's just a crazy, crazy game. There was mini game. Why did all those games from the early 2000s have mini games? Like this game has mini games. I love that. I love the mini games. Such a fun little time waster. I love it. Yeah, this is a game I used to play with my dad all the time. As a Canadian too, we're playing a hockey game, so you have to. Like, I don't play sports, but like hockey, gotta play a little hockey puck, buddy. Just a very, very fun game. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, and I still think this one holds up as just a fun, stupid afternoon. It's not gonna blow your socks off, but I think it's a very fun afternoon. Some good old hockey puck, bad. But there's also an NFL version. I think there's NFL Blitz. I think 2003 as well. There's I think, and there might be a basketball version as well. I'm not sure, but for me, it's the NHL hockey. I'm Canadian. My dad loved hockey, and you got to play. And it's a 2003 roster. It's something you don't see that anymore. Who's got the 2003 roster? I couldn't even tell you who's on the cover there. Someone important. I don't know. Anyway, very good game. I love it. Very fun. One of my favorite games of all time here, and the number 55 slot, is Destruction Derby 64. I'm not a big fan of racing games either, but I do have a few on this list because these are the ones that stood out to me. Destruction Derby 64 is a game you can probably beat in a couple hours. I think maybe maximum like 3. But for the time, there was a lot of content. There's a lot of different cars to choose from. And something that may surprise a lot of people is the damage modeling for the N64 is very impressive. And I know that sounds really stupid, but the way you hit and smash cars in this game, the cars actually reflect like when you smash into something front driver side, that'll crumple in. And I know that sounds stupid, but for the time, it felt really realistic. In a game that's not realistic, it felt really cool. The music is pretty fantastic. There's some half decent tracks in here too. There's some good tracks. Destruction Junction, like that figure 8 track where you have to like loop in and crash into each other. Very cool. But the game has sort of like a Cruisin' USA kind of like theme to it, where like you have to pass through checkpoints in these races, and there's like a sexy chick like checkpoint like that, and you're like, oh damn, like and the music is high octane. It feels like you're going fast. The sound design's good. It's graphically, and it really plays well for a Nintendo 64 game. Best Nintendo 64 game of all time? No, but this one has a soft spot in my heart. It's also 4-player multiplayer. Get in there, destroy your buddies. It's got a decent amount of content for what it is, and I really have a soft spot in my heart for this game. And again, I still think it holds up. For an afternoon, it's a great game. Why not? You know what I mean? And again, even though it's in the top, this may be your favorite game of all time, although I don't hear a lot of people talk about this one. If a game's on this list, for me, this is top tier. These are all A or S tier games, in my opinion. These games. Whether you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. But that's my point. Is if you see a game here that you love and it's on my list, I hold this in very high esteem. So I love Destruction Derby. Very fun game. Something else I used to play with my dad. Just a very, very fun game. We're going to move on to an absolute classic in the number 54 slot, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I recently streamed this not too long ago, and we actually met one of our more valued viewers there, 73. Shout out to 73, buddy. Hope you're doing well. This game is fantastic. I don't really know what I can say about this game that hasn't been said before. It is kind of the quintessential tycoon game or business management game, while also adding some like building and free like sandbox mechanics to it. For me, I think my favorite part is the graphics. The graphics they're so charming. That late 90s pixelated, it's just so charming and so simple. Anyone can pick this up. I think most of us were kids when we played that, and it's very, very simple, but it's just so much fun. The music, the rides, picking people up. You can drown a guy, save a guy, hire some janitors, clean up the puke and the barf, and it's just a really, really fun game. And it's just a fun game, and I think it's still playable to this day. So if you haven't checked out Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I don't know what you're doing. Go play it. It's so much fun. Next, we're going to move into a kart racing game that some of you may or may not know about. I'm not sure. This is my number 53, Crash Tag Team Racing. So, Mario Kart is the king of kart racing games. That the cutesy go-kart, crazy world style racing games. I think we're all familiar with. In my opinion, I don't think anything really beats Mario Kart, but there are some other games that are close. I know the Disney racing game on N64 and PS1 was pretty good. Revolt, the RC racing game, that's kind of like a kart racer. That's also pretty good. The original Lego Racers, like there is different takes on it, and some of them are pretty solid. Like it seems to be a winning formula. Little go-karts, cutesy characters, and weapons seem to go together. But Crash Tag Team Racing for me was like I couldn't put it down. I'm not even a big Crash fan, and essentially it's the same thing. It's a kart racer, but there's a story where you're going to Von Dutch's theme park, and you're here to win some prize. I can't remember exactly what the story was, but I do have a deep connection with this game. That's what I'm going to get into. I used to play with my buddy all the time and at home. But basically, it's tag team racing. So when you're racing, you can pick up a power up, and then you can fuse your car with someone else's car, and you can turn into this like crazy amalgamation. And like there's different kinds of combinations with weapons on the back, and just a really crazy kart racer. But there was also on foot sections that were really fun. There was like platforming you could do around the theme park where you're looking for extra collectibles and stuff to do, and on top of that, there's a ton of gags. There's a ton of like jokes and gags that Crash can get himself into, where like Crash gets hurt, he gets killed, or like a boulder falls on him, like Wile E. Coyote kind of shit. And it was just a really funny game, a really fun experience. The kart racing felt high octane, big juice, big action, and I just really loved the game. So much so that I thought the main, or I guess I don't know if he's a villain, or I think he's a villain in the other games, but Von Dutch, I think it was his name, Von Dutch. I thought Von Dutch was so funny as a character, his weird Germanic accent, that I made my first gamer tag basically that. I was like, I'm Von, my name, and that was my first gamer tag when I was playing way back in the day. Which I will. There's more stories about that as I continue on, but that's where my first gamer tag came from, and that's why it's got a soft place in my heart. And I think the game still holds up. It's a fun game. Okay, so next we've got kind of a weird one for me. Number 52, Dead Island, the original Dead Island. I loved this game, and for me to love a horror game says a lot. I don't like horror. I don't like spooky things. I hate being scared. I don't like jump scares. I don't like being scared. I don't like it. I just don't like it. And this was a game that I played with some people that I had met online when I was really young. I was like 13 when I met them. I met some older guys that were like 18, 19 from New York. Shout out to Dan and Eric from New York if you're watching this. I love you guys. And actually, I think Eric's girlfriend at the time, I think they're married now. His girlfriend at the time, Kate. Shout out to her. I played with these people from New York in this game. It was a 4-player co-op game. It's an open world zombies RPG. You're like on this tropical island, and the zombie outbreak happens, and it was just a really unique take on the zombie experience, and I think a really solid one. It didn't launch in a great state. There was a few bugs and glitches. This originally came out on PS3 and Xbox 360. I think the Xbox version was better. I think it's the case for a lot of games back then, unfortunately. I played on PS3, but it was just such a fun adventure. The four of us going through the jungle and searching for a cure and upgrading weapons, finding machetes, guns, and grenades, and it was just a really, really, really fun adventure. Especially because I was scared. I was terrified of the zombies and the freaky things. Matter of fact, I was so scared I wouldn't play the game alone. I would not play it alone. I had to wait for them to come online to play because I couldn't walk around. I was too scared. I was too scared to play. But that experience for me was really fun. It's a game that totally is better when you have more. It's fine solo. It's an okay RPG solo. I don't think it's anything massively special. The story is kind of whatever. But playing that with friends was just such a great experience. Leveling up, upgrading, just a lot of fun and laughs and a little bit of goofiness too. It was just something completely different, and I really thank my friends from New York for helping me sort of get over my fear of just scary things. I'm not scared of zombies anymore. Ghost, I'm still scared of. Especially lady ghosts are scarier. They are. They just are. I'm not so much scared of ghosts and that stuff anymore. I'm sorry, zombies. I'm not afraid of zombies. Ghosts, I don't like horror movies. I'm not going to go see them. Point is, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for them. And I still think it's a solid game. If you get your hands on, I think it's on PS4 and Xbox One. I think there's a sort of port or remaster available. And it's not an amazing game, but definitely worth a playthrough with some friends. If you can find it on sale for like $3, which I think it is right now, pick it up. It's a great game to play with friends. Love that game. Okay, and then we're going to move into our number 51 spot, Wolfenstein 2009. A lot of people forgot about this game, and I totally get it. This is kind of like the forgotten Wolfenstein. People really remember Um, Obviously, like the originals with BJ Blazkowicz and like the turquoise walls, and you're fighting good old Adolf. Classic Nazi killing action. Classic Nazi killing action. And I think a lot of older dudes, your unks, ask your unks if they're okay. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which I think was 2003, I think. This one came out in 2009. It was made by Activision. It essentially is a Call of Duty clone, but it's more of like a semi-open world, pseudo-open world RPG Call of Duty. And that, I think, is a really cool idea. Apparently, the development of this game was supposed to be more open world than it was, and apparently the game got scrapped a couple times, remade, like there was a bunch of development hell. But essentially, it's BJ Blazkowicz back doing what he does best, killing some Germans, killing some Nazis. Except this time, you might be able to tell by the cover here, it has a lot to do with the occult, and there is Nazi zombies, and there is spooky science and German weird stuff, and it's I thought it was a very fun game. Not a very long game. I think maybe it's only like 4 to 6 hours long. But I for a whole summer, I was addicted to it. I couldn't stop playing it. Upgrading my weapons, looking for gold, adventuring through like these open combat areas. It was really cool for the time, and I think it's absolutely worth a playthrough. And kind of a little bit of a sleeper hit. I was originally going to make another list full of like alternative games that I thought were really good, but like that one was just really important to me. A lot of people don't. Matter of fact, this one's actually kind of got some social media presence for me as well, too, because my first Facebook profile picture was that German skull there. I don't know why I made it that. It just was. It's not. Probably shouldn't have, because it is a German in World War II. Probably shouldn't have done that. I was stupid. I just thought he was cool because he glowed blue, and I liked the game. That's pretty much why I did it. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Anyway, moving on to number 50, Ultimate Spider-Man. If you know me, you'll know that I am not a big fan of superhero movies, superhero stuff in general. And there was almost another game that took this spot because I hold them both in very high regards. But this game is essentially just open world Spider-Man in cell shaded comic style graphics. But you also have the ability to play as Venom. I think the Venom gameplay added a lot of replayability. The story is actually pretty decent. Like you fight Wolverine in this game as Venom. Like that's just fucking cool. That's just really cool. You fight Carnage too. I think as Spider-Man at one point. Like there's just a lot of cool boss battles. But it's an open world for 2000. I think it was 03 for an open world 2003. It's pretty fun. It feels good to swing around as Spider-Man, but there's like a rampage, sort of like GTA mode as Venom. When you get to play as Venom in the free world, you're essentially just racking up as many points. You're going on a kill streak. You're going on a rampage. See how many people you can murder in the city of New York as Venom. It was very cool. A lot of replayability. A lot of me and my friends would sit in my buddy's basement and be like, all right, dude, your turn, bro. I got 80,000 points, bro. Your turn now. Just see how long we could last as Venom. And just a very fun game. And for me to have a comic book game on here, for me, it means a lot. And I think no one really talks about this one anymore. It's kind of underrated a little bit. And I was going to put this on my alt list, but I had to think about I was going to put this on my alt list, but I had to think back at all the good times I had with it. And looking back at sort of the story and kind of refreshing my memory. And yeah, it's a pretty solid entry to the Spider-Man series, in my opinion. A lot of cameos. Really fun. Almost feels like it was made today, if that makes sense. Anyway, this one is very special. I mean, number 49, Army Men RTS. I love the Army Men series as a whole. Matter of fact, the video I'm working on for you guys right now, the game review, is about Army Men Sarge's Heroes 1. And if I did make the alt list, which I think I still will make a video on that, it's probably going to go on there. But this game is my favorite Army Men game for a couple reasons. Usually the Army Men games are third-person shooters. You know, you're classic. They're Sarge, shoot some tans, have some fun. This is a RTS tactical game in the same vein of like Age of Empires. A base builder, ordering troops and selecting them and sending them to go fight into the fray. For a game about plastic army men, this makes a lot of sense, and I really wish they had gone down more of this avenue with the Army Men series. Unfortunately, this game came out right at the end of 3DO's essentially life because I think the company was already bought out by someone when this game came out, and then it got bought out by someone else, I think. And it didn't sell very well because the game is not perfect, but a really, really good idea. Basically, yeah, it's just you build a base. There's a story which I think is very funny because it's a parody of Apocalypse Now, which is also my favorite movie. So I was hugely into that, or at least as I grew older, I realized what it was. I'm like, oh, I mean, I grew an appreciation for it. Um, but it's funny. The voice acting is great. Jim Cummings does the voice of most of the characters in the game, and it's just really fun to build a bunch of army men and harvest plastic and electricity to build tanks, helicopters, bazooka men, machine gunners. It's really fun. The pathfinding though is very bad in this game. For some reason, every soldier, tank, anything, they'll follow each other in single file line. And that might be okay in certain scenarios, but when you've built an army of 500 plastic army dudes, they like if you have a whole army, they will just follow single file. So when you're sending them into battle, most of the time the lead unit or whatever it is will have to stop, and the rest of the army has to catch up, then fill into formation. So really, what ends up happening is it's really just a conga line simulator where when the first guy shows up, he gets a little damage, he dies. Next guy shows up, dies. Then the next guy dies. A few units have to die before everyone catches up and gets into formation so they can attack the enemy. So units can't walk in past each other. So the pathfinding and clipping is very, very bad in that game, and it's for a younger audience, so I get it, and I played it when I was younger. A lot of people call it like baby's first RTS, which totally makes sense to me, and that's why it's on here. Because if you want to get into RTS games, I think it's actually the perfect game to understand RTS mechanics. If you've never played an RTS game before, it's very simple, and for that, I love it, and that's why it's on this list. Okay, next one. This is gonna make Matt happy, but I had to put it on here because this one is a little bit of a sleeper hit. This is Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. This is a movie tie-in game for Toy Story 2 way back in the day. And it's a open world third-person platformer in the same vein as Mario 64. But this one is pretty solid. When Mario 64 came out, it changed everything, and I'll get to that when I start talking about it. I made a review about it. You guys should go check it out. It's on my channel. The level design here is actually pretty cool. Essentially, Buzz has to go save Woody, and to do that, he has to collect 5 Pizza Planet tokens every level. And it kind of works. You essentially do the same thing every level. You have to get 50 coins, find Bo Peep's token, find the Slinky's token. Everyone's got it's the same challenge, but in different variations in every level. And for 1999, 2000, it was a decent level of variety and fun platforming. It's not bad. The game's not super long, but I wouldn't say it's super short either for an N64 or PS1 game. Graphically, it looks okay. Actually, the PS1 version is the better version in this case, which usually isn't the case. I think usually the N64 ports were better from my memory, but I could be wrong about that. But it's a solid take on the second movie, which is a really good movie, and it's just a really fun platform, which if you haven't played, I would definitely recommend checking out. It's a lot of fun. I think I've streamed it before, but we're going to go back and stream that again, maybe in December. We'll see. All right, now here's a game that I'm sure no one's even heard of. You'd have to be a Bond fan to know this game. I know this game because I was really into 007 before. I'm not a big Daniel Craig guy. Great actor, but I'm not really into his movies. This is James Bond 007 from Russia with Love. This game is almost one-for-one. It's a somewhat one-for-one, a little bit of a retelling of the original 1964 movie, I think, From Russia with Love, starring Sean Connery. They got Sean Connery to reprise his role as 007 to voice him in this game. That's insane. To get any old actor to reprise a role 40, 50 years later is absolutely crazy. And the game is really good. It's really solid. It's a third-person Bond game, linear, not open world. There's a decent amount of missions. There's bonus missions. You earn points to unlock bonus missions. But I think the highlight for me here is upgrading Bond, his weapons, and his gadgets. You can find certain points and schematics to upgrade your silenced pistol, your submachine gun, your assault rifle. And at times the game can be kind of tough, and you will need all the tools available to you to beat the enemies. There's some tough spots in this game where you need to find health and armor, and you need to pick up like you could use the pistol and get headshots all level, and then you run out of pistol ammo, and then you have to start using SMG. But the SMG is a lot weaker, and you gotta plan ahead and a surprising level of depth and gameplay. Yeah, the game's got a few problems here and there. Like there's some forced turret sections which aren't very fun. I hate forced turret sections. And you get to drive the Aston Martin around Constantinople, which is pretty cool. But to see a movie from the '60s get turned into a game from the early 2000s, which at the time the graphics were pretty solid, was really cool. And it's in my opinion the best 007 game besides GoldenEye in my opinion. That is the best. It took the formula from Everything or Nothing, which is also a very good Bond game, uh, and instead of telling an original story, retells. It's pretty close, I'd say, to the movie, and it's a very very fun experience. Another Blockbuster game that I rented, and matter of fact, I think I bought this from Blockbuster. I think it was so good, I was like, I gotta own this, and I think I still have it somewhere. Somewhere, it's in a box somewhere. I have it still because I'm like, I love this game. Also, that multiplayer too. The multiplayer was fun. The split screen multiplayer was a lot of fun. You could drive tanks in it. It was really cool. Really fun game. After that, we've got something that is, I mean, number 46, Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked. Sorry, just Ratchet. I think it's actually, just Ratchet Deadlocked. It's not even Ratchet, because Clank's not even with you most of the game in this one. It's a Ratchet and Clank game, but it's like a game show. You get taken to this crazy game show where people have to compete and fight for their lives. It's kind of like the Hunger Games a little bit too, almost. And Ratchet gets kidnapped and becomes like this gladiatorial slave, and he must compete for this TV show for ratings. The weapons are fun in this one. The announcers are hilarious. Very fun and very challenging too. A very challenging game. I'm looking forward to streaming that one. That one's a lot of fun. If you ever played a Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, let me know, because that one, what a great PS2 game. One of my favorites. Okay, here's a more modern game for you, because I know I've been doing a lot of classic games here, but this is a modern game that I really liked, and a horror game on top of that too. Number 45, Resident Evil 2 Remake. Again, I hate horror games. I don't like being scared. This game is pants shittingly scarily. You will shit your pants playing this game. I did multiple times. This is a remake of the original Resident Evil 2 from 1998, I think. And I think it's a very impressive remake because of the graphical upgrade. Resident Evil 2 is still a fine game. I think it's still playable if you can handle those tank controls. A little tough for some people. I get it. But they got bowling ball hands. You know what I mean? They're just, the graphics are so dated. They're so dated. And some people find that charming. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think those graphics are, you can say they're whatever. But the RE2 remake looks beautiful, and it gives a whole new light to the Resident Evil 2 story, which I think is pretty solid. Although the Resident Evil story kind of gets crazy because there's like 10 games, and then I didn't know where we're going with the story in RE9, which I will be streaming that as well too, because I know you guys like to see me play horror games. This game, it's just so graphically impressive. The guts, the gore, the lighting, the ambient, the aura, the fucking dude. I was afraid to walk around corners in this game, and because of that, this was the first game I ever streamed on my Twitch channel. When I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a streamer. I want to be a streamer. I'm gonna do this. That was the first game. I was like, you know what? Let's try it. And I didn't have a face cam then. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. I didn't have a face cam yet. I was doing it right from the PlayStation's streaming app, or streaming option or whatever. And how many people still came in to come say hi and talk to me, and it really made me think yeah, I could be a streamer. I could do this. This is fun. Yeah, I really like this. People were so helpful and so nice, and it's just a really fantastic game. I have a soft spot in my heart for it. It's a great game, and I think if you haven't played it, you're totally missing out. And I don't think you have to play the first one either to play that either, too. It's still, you don't have to play. Love that. Play the first one. You don't have to. You don't have to play the first one to play the second one. The second one, it is a continuation, but you don't have to play the first one. Love to see an RE1 remake like that. That'd be cool. All right, next up, we've got a Pokemon game. This is my favorite Pokemon game. I'm sorry, this is going to upset a few people, but it just is. Pokemon Platinum version. Gen 4 is my favorite generation of Pokemon. Simply for the lore. I love Gen 4 lore. The Pokemon, the gods of time and space. Arceus, the creator of all Pokemon. Sinnoh was just I really love the lore of Sinnoh. I think Sinnoh has a lot of cool Pokemon. And I understand that Diamond and Pearl had some problems just as games themselves. I get it. There's only like 2 fire types. I think in the original Diamond and Pearl, like it's you either choosing Fernape or Rapidash, or you don't get a fire type. So it's like, okay, well, I wonder who I'm gonna choose. And then Fernape is also like arguably the best firefighting Pokemon ever. He's insanely fast. I think he's faster than Blaziken. Maybe without I don't know about the Mega, because Blaziken does have a Mega, so I don't know about that now. Actually, after that, but anyway, point being. The game had some problems, but Platinum was this is when they were still doing like third versions of Pokemon. So they would release a 1 and 2, and then like a year later they would release like a 3 version, which would be the best of both worlds, the best of both rosters of Pokemon, and then they would add some like gameplay changes. This one, you go to the Distortion World, you fight Giratina, the basically the angel of death of all Pokemon. Just a very cool game. Cynthia is one of the most infamous fights in all of Pokemon. And this one, the games were still kind of difficult. They were still kind of hard, which I really appreciate that, because now they're a little too. I don't know if I want Radical Red difficulty, but just somewhere in the middle where I actually have to think about my team, my strategy, and stuff like that. But it was a very fun game. Graphically, I think impressive for the Nintendo DS. You're not going to find a lot of mobile games in here. I'm not much of a mobile game or a portable gamer, but a very fun game. And the Pokemon, for me, in my opinion, I love that they gave a lot of Gen 1, 2, and I think some 3 Pokemon another evolution. Yeah, Magmortar is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love him. Dusknoir, I know he's not very good, but I just love the way he looks. So cool. Rhyperior, like just an Electivire. Like, dude, there's just so many cool Pokemon in this game. I love it. I love Gen 4, and it was my favorite game on my Nintendo DS. I love that game so much. Great game. Okay, then we're gonna move into something very strange. This one's weird. This one is very weird. I wouldn't expect a lot of people to know about this one. This is WarioWare Smooth Moves. So Wario, you probably know him from the Mario games. He's usually a character you play as in the Mario Party games, the Mario Sports games. But Wario does have his own line of games, which I don't really know what to call them. They're essentially just mini game games. It's essentially if you took the mini games from Mario Party and that was just the whole game, which, yeah, you kind of can do, but it's just very rapid, quick, dirty, silly, funny, quirky, very Japanese. There's a heavy Japanese influence in the WarioWare games. And I think it started out on Game Boy Advance, and there was one on GameCube, I think. This was the one for the Wii. And essentially, you're like learning in a dojo how you play when you're playing the game. And this really like stupid narrator comes on, and it's like, here, you must hold the Wii remote like you are the most pleasant chauffeur, and you're driving, and it's like, oh, hold it like you're holding a calzone. It's so stupid, so much fun. Ton of mini games. One of my favorite Wii games. I absolutely love this game. Kind of hard to get your hands on because you have to have an actual Wii to play. I mean, I might be able to set up on the emulator. We'll see. There's probably a way to do it. I want to stream this one because it'd be a lot of fun. We'll set up the big camera. I'd be sweating. We do some arm curls. Have some rewards for people. I think it'd be a really fun stream. Very fun game. If I fail, we do push-ups or something like that. It'd be very cool. WarioWare Smooth Moves, one of my favorite games of all time. Absolutely love it. And it was another Blockbuster game that I rented. Okay, next we're moving into another Wario game, actually. I didn't mean to put those together, but number 42, Wario World. Why didn't they make another one of these games? I love this game so much. This was a Wario game that came out on the GameCube. It's a 2.5D side-scroller platformer beat-em-up. You're Wario. He found a jewel. It took all his treasure. He has to travel through these worlds, beating up, pummeling. I'd say bad guys, but some of them probably aren't. It's Wario. He's kind of like, he's not exactly a good guy. You're just beating people up, pile driving people, fucking smashing their face and beating the coins out of them. There's puzzles. There's platforming. It's a really fun game. The music's very charming, and I have a soft spot in my heart for it. I wish I never got rid of this game. I love this game so much. I really wish I kept this game. That's a big problem. I think a lot of people like, oh, I'm growing up. I don't need these games anymore. And I really wish I kept that game. Very, very, very. I wish I had it on physical. I love Wario, and it's just such a fun adventure. Really love that game. We should definitely stream that. I've never streamed. We should definitely stream that. Okay, next we're moving into this one's gonna be a little controversial. This might set up Mr. King. I apologize if it does. But Banjo Tooie is on my list here, number 41. Banjo Tooie. I fucking love this game. Again, anything on this list I could talk about for hours because there's something I could talk like all these games. I could talk for hours on end about these games. Banjo Tooie is such an important game in my life. It's one of the first games I ever played, and I just love everything about it. I love Banjo. I love the graphics, the sound design, the music, the worlds, the quirky humor, the mini. Talk about a game with mini games. Banjo Tooie has some great mini games and some like split screen multiplayer first person shooter modes with some maps from GoldenEye. Like what is this game? It's so crazy. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset. They're like, where's Kazooie? Why isn't Kazooie on this list? Kazooie is a fantastic game. I love Kazooie. I wouldn't be playing Tooie without Kazooie. But in my mind, Tooie is the better game. I know that's a controversial take. I'm not trying to be controversial with anything on this list. I'm not trying to rage bait anyone or farm reactions. But I just think Tooie's a better game, in my opinion. I love Witchy World. I don't have to tell you. I like Witchy World. Banjo-Kazooie still... If I could do a top 100, if I could get a top 100 on here, I'd be here literally all week talking about it. Kazooie would be on there, but for my money, Tooie's the better game. I love it. I think it's a great sequel, and I'm sad we never got Banjo 3 or 3E, and we got Nuts and Bolts instead. I'm very sad that we never got an actual true sequel to that game because it was very good. Okay, and then we're going to move into, this is cheating a little bit. I apologize. I cheated twice on this list, but I'm cheating a little bit here. This is Assassin's Creed, the Ezio Collection. So this is actually 3 games in one. This is Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations, which at the time we thought were 2, 3, and 4. But this game, I think, came out in 2016. I bought it in 2016, and yeah, it's a report, slight remaster of the original 3 Ezio games, or at least Assassin's Creed games, the ones that everyone knows and loves. And man, I there's parts of these that have not aged very well, but there's some parts that have aged pretty well. In particular, 2. I think 2 might be my favorite. But I have so many great memories of 3 and Revelation. I know Revelation's got that weird like tower defense thing that no one likes. I didn't hate it. It's okay. It's all right. I just think Ezio is a very compelling character. This was back when I think Assassin's Creed fans are going to agree with me here. This is back when the Assassin storyline still mattered. As much as people didn't like Desmond, I like Desmond. I thought that was the whole point. I thought we were what I honestly thought we were leading to is every time we play an Assassin's Creed game, you know, we had Altair, then Ezio, then Connor. I thought we were going to lead up to Connor becoming his own, or sorry, what I thought we were leading to was Desmond becoming his own assassin, like a modern times, a modern assassin game, instead of jumping on Renaissance roofs or medieval castles like Altair. Now you're jumping on skyscrapers and maybe have a grapple hook or something like that. A modern setting Assassin's Creed sounds very cool. That's where I thought we were going. He was learning all this training, learning about the artifacts, the weapons, the Eden, the Apple of Eden. And then we're gonna get to his game where we're gonna be like, that's where I just thought we were going. We didn't go there with it. We kind of fucked it after Black Flag, and that's really unfortunate. You might be saying, why isn't Black Flag on this list? Because I think that game's actually aged worse. I think Black Flag has the most trailing and eavesdrop missions compared to even the first couple Ezio games, which is crazy because there's a lot in this game. I think there's more, which is insane. The boat combat in 4 is fantastic, but for my money, just playing as Ezio in Renaissance Italy, it's something we had never seen before. The cities are beautifully recreated. The cities felt alive. They may not feel so alive now, but they felt alive. And I think the 3 Ezio games, if you want to get into the series, are a great place to start because I think with the Ezio collection, the games are still very playable. Modern controls, great parkour, interesting characters, and just a really, really fun experience from Ubisoft when I still liked Ubisoft games. I wish I still did. Okay, moving to my number 39 slot. It's a little unorthodox, but this is WWF No Mercy. I could have really put any wrestling game. I could have put a few wrestling games on here because there absolutely is. And maybe on my alt list I do. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Fantastic game. But for me here, WWF No Mercy is the perfect wrestling game. It's kind of like Smash Bros. What do I mean by that?
The controls are very easy in that every wrestler has a move set, and there's just certain moves attached to it that anyone can easily pick up and play. B is a punch. Same as like for example, in Smash Bros, if you press the B button, you'll do a special. In WWF No Mercy, if you press B, you'll punch. If you do side B in Smash Bros, you do a side B move. In this wrestling game, if you do side B, you'll do a special punch. If you do down A, you'll do a down A attack. Up A attack. Down B. It's just like Smash Bros in that regard. I think it's very cool. Except there's a few more moves too, because you have like grapple moves, on the rope moves, turnbuckle, special weapons. You can create a character in this game and design your own wrestler, which is very cool for an N64 title to do that. The music is fantastic. Doug Dimmadome, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. If you play the games, like, oh my god, I can't believe you made that reference. Just a very, very fun game, packed full of content, a surprising amount of content. You could probably bang through it all in 4 to 6 hours, but if you take your time, I think it's probably put 12 to 16 hours of content here. That's a lot for an N64 game, for just a stupid wrestling game, which at the time, too, there were a lot of wrestling games that came out. During this era, wrestling was extremely popular. Arguably, it's most popular during this WWF, like, Attitude Era. But I think because of that, it's got a great roster of wrestlers, arguably one of the best rosters in any wrestling game. Plus, you can create your own character, too, so you could potentially add your own. Maybe some, like I don't like Hogan's in this game. Would be cool to have Hogan, R.I.P. to Hogan. I used to be a big wrestling fan, so for me, it's really cool, but after this era, I kind of fell out of it a little bit. I kind of grew up a little bit, and I'm just not doing wrestling anymore. But this game, fantastic game. Love it. The sound effects, the just everything about it. It's just such a great game. I love it. I recommend it. I mean, we should stream this one. This will be fun to stream. If I can get it working properly, we should stream this one. Will be a lot of fun. Okay, next, a game that, like, this game is so special to me. This is Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap is a game that shouldn't have a lot of time spent in it, but I got hours clocked in here. Essentially, you're just this dude named Todd, and it's an on-rails shooter, actually is what it is. But you're not shooting Pokemon, you're taking pictures of Pokemon. And that's all you do. You got Professor and you bring pictures back to that guy, and he's like, hey, you know that Pikachu? Good picture, but you got his butthole. A little weird, just full of Pikachu butthole, but I'll give you 50 points for that, buddy. Good job. And you move level to level, taking pictures of the classic 151 Pokemon, and there's just tons of hidden secrets and things to see and find. And this is back when Pokemon felt special to me. Gen 1 through 4 Pokemon, maybe because I was a kid, I guess, but especially Gen 1. Gen 1 just felt, it just feels so magical and special. And see Pikachu riding the surfboard because you threw a couple apples at him, and like to go to school the next day and be like, bro, did you see Articuno? And like, you talk, and like, again, I grew up later in this game. Like, I played this game when I was like 10. This game was already like 10 years old when I was playing it. I do feel a little jealous of the people that got to play it originally, because you were able to take your like memory card, take it to Blockbuster, shout out to Blockbuster again, put it into like a kiosk, and then print your actual snap photos on like a kiosk. Like, that's so cool. And again, this was a time before internet, pictures, smartphones, so at the time it made sense. Obviously now it doesn't, but very, very cool idea. Just a very unique game that's got so much aura. It is not a long game. You could probably beat the game in 2 hours. It's an N64 game, probably not very long, but the replayability of seeing who can take the best photos, just so charming. The Pokemon are in 3D, which may sound kind of stupid. Of course they are, but you gotta remember, besides Pokemon Stadium, one of my favorite games, not on this list though, and there's a good reason for that. You know, you didn't really see Pokemon in 3D. That was kind of a niche thing. We didn't really see that. So very cool to see that. Very fun game. The sequel wasn't as good, but I love that game. So we should stream. I don't think I've ever streamed Pokemon Snap. That would be a fun stream too. I plan on streaming all these games at some point, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, next is another sports game, which I know is kind of weird because I don't really have a lot of sports. It might be my only other sports game on here. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. This is the GameCube Mario Golf game, and I don't really have much to say about it besides it's a really solid golf game. There's a decent amount of courses, a decent amount of characters. There's some power-ups, there's some wacky modes, but the music's really relaxing. It's made by Camelot, who also made the Mario Power Tennis game. Pretty fun as well. But for my money, golf, I love. If I had to pick a sport, I like golf. It's classic, you know. Just a really fun game. I also have a soft spot for it because I used to play with my dad all the time. Me and my dad would just come home from work like, hey, want to hit Lakido Woods, buddy? Want to hit some break and win the back nine on Cheap Falls or what, bud? And I'm like, yeah, buddy, let's go. And just a really fun, charming game. And I really wish the new Mario Golf again was not as good as that. I just think it's a really solid arcade golf game. Not too much simulation, not too much bullshit, just simple, clear cut. There's Mario and his friends. Go play some golf. Simple. Love it. Love that game. Next, this one again, a Wii game here, Punch Out. This is the 2009 Punch Out. I never heard of Punch Out before I played this game. I didn't know what the fuck a Little Mac was. This game is very simple. It's more of actually a puzzle game than a boxing game, arguably. But yeah, this is Little Mac's game, and we haven't had one since, which kind of weird we haven't, actually. It's time for another Punch Out. Essentially, Little Mac, you're a little boxer from the Bronx, and you're there to beat your way to the top of the title bout. And every fighter is different, and you've only got like 4 moves. You can move left, right, punch, left, right, uppercut, and like a body shot left, right. That's all you can do. You can't move around the ring. You're stuck in position. And essentially, what it is it's button combinations. What it boils down to is what button combinations beat King Hippo. I know it sounds really stupid, but when you really think about it, that's what you're doing. Because yes, there's timing and you got to dodge punches, but like just pressing the buttons in the time you're supposed to put, like it really is almost a puzzle game in my opinion. So that don't make sense to some people. Like, what is this fucking guy talking about? He's an idiot. Trust me, it's a very fun game. There's lots of fun characters. It's so charming, and I'm so happy that he added to Smash Bros. I actually main Little Mac, which is really toxic because he is the definition of a glass cannon in Smash Bros. I love him, but no one really knows how to deal with him for fighting. I mean, if you knock him off the stage, he's cooked. He's not a great character, but he's so weird, so niche. He's so unique. I love him. But I love the game. I spent a lot of time playing this with my buddies growing up, just learning how to play and just seeing who could beat the bald bull faster. And it's just a very charming game. I like a lot of Nintendo games. What are you gonna do? Okay, next is a game that I never thought I would like, but I ended up loving. This is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. This is the one that Kojima got fired like halfway through development or something like that, and he didn't get to finish the game. And after playing through it, I can tell you that yeah, he definitely didn't finish the game. There's like half the game missing here, but the half that we have is fantastic. And I'm speaking purely gameplay wise. The story, good fucking luck, gang. Good luck understanding the story. This is Kingdom Hearts level of storytelling. You need to watch 3 videos, an essay from someone who knows what they're talking about to understand. Because even if you play the other ones, I don't think that would help you understand this one. And essentially, you're Big Boss Solid Snake, I think, one of the codename snakes, and you're essentially building a private military corporation. You build the base. You go on missions, hunt for resources, take out, and there's like main missions. You're sneaking around, taking out people, classic in a cardboard box and shit. And you go back to the base, and you're like a research team, and you develop better weapons and suppressors and grenades. I was blown away by the depth and freedom of this game. So cool. It takes place in like 1986 Afghanistan, which the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, which in a game I don't think I've ever seen before. So that was pretty cool. And some border, the Angola, I think it's Angola is where we are. Some African conflicts in Angola with private militaries and some sort of border. I'm not too familiar on the history of 1986 and the Angola issue, but I know there was some conflict in that area at the time, but just not places you see very often in general in media, like settings and on in games, like the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. I don't think it's ever what other game. Well, it wasn't Black. Actually, no, it wasn't Black Ops 2. I lied. Actually, I think those two both are in Black Ops 2. But besides Black Ops 2, like, come on, you've never been to Soviet invaded Afghanistan. You're never there. So for me, it was just kind of unique. Sneaking around, leveling up, upgrading your shit. And the online feature was kind of cool too. Some people got really into it. I didn't love it, but the companion's quiet. D-Dog, like it's so wacky and cool, but at the same time very serious. Not grounded, but very grounded at the same time. Very weird. Kojima is a visionary, and I'm sad that he kind of got canned from Konami because what a fantastic. Wasn't a fault. Like, it's just such a good game, dude.
A lot of the games on this list, I just couldn't put down. That would be what I would say about a lot of them. Like, I couldn't put it down. I couldn't stop playing. Next, we're going to move into my favorite Mario Kart of all time. I know this might upset a few people. Mario Kart Wii. This is probably the most broken Mario Kart of all time. People just play Funky Kong and fuck shit up online, which is crazy that this one had online with the Nintendo Wi-Fi, Wii Wi-Fi adapter. So stupid. What an archaic age. But this was the first Mario Kart that like had a lot of content, and that's what I liked about it, because I think any Mario, if you could say Mario Kart 64 is your favorite, Double Dash your favorite, I think that's totally fine. Double Dash's music, god damn, it's so good. But I really think having only 16 tracks is lacking. For an N64, I feel like that's a lot. For GameCube, they should add probably 1 or 2 more cups. Like 16 doesn't feel like a lot. And I think some of the double, like Baby Park and Double Dash, great track, crazy, chaotic, the new town of Mario Kart, but like some of those other tracks, I don't know. Like some of them aren't, Royal Coliseum, that's a good one. That one's fun. But like, I don't know. Like some of the other ones, they're not, I don't think they're the greatest in the series, in my opinion. So that's why I put the Wii up here. The Wii had tons of characters. The first time we had bikes available. You could use your Mii, which also was really cool too. And just a lot of tracks, a lot of content, a lot of carts, and some throwbacks too. They had some throwback tracks. It was the first time I think they had throwback tracks, I believe. From multiple Mario Kart games too. From Mario Kart 64, I think they had one from Double Dash, and they had one from the Super Nintendo game, and maybe I think one from DS as well too, if I'm not mistaken. This was the first modern Mario Kart. If that makes any sense, and that's why I love it. Just a lot of fun. You could play with a GameCube controller. It was just so cool. What a great game. Well made. Besides the exploits and the people that found the text in the game, because there's a lot of text in this game to like cut walls and cheat. But still, one of my favorite games. I absolutely love it. Okay, first Grand Theft Auto on the list. This is going to surprise a few people, but this is probably my favorite portable game ever. Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. So this came out during the GTA 4 era of GTA, and it is a top-down GTA in the same style the first 2 GTAs, where it's a top-down sort of Rampage-esque style game, and you're playing as this. I think his name is Huang. I want to say that was. If I didn't, I'm fucking sorry. It's a racism. I'm sorry. But you're part of the Chinese and Triad gang groups of Liberty City. But it was just a really unique take on Grand Theft Auto for the time. I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto on console, but somehow I ended up with this game, and I don't know how I did. And I think I bought it. I think I said to my mom, I'm like, well, it's not the same thing. Like, it's Grand Theft Auto, Mom, but it's like you can't see like this one's for kids. It's Grand Theft Auto for kids, and for some reason she's like, oh, okay. I think that's what happened. Anyway, I ended up with it. This arguably might be the worst Grand Theft Auto. Well, not worse, but worse for a younger audience, because like you just full on deal drugs in this game. You're just slinging dope, bro. And I swear to God, for most of the game, that's what I did. I went around the whole game just slinging, the devil's lettuce, a little bit of yayo, and like there's like a touch screen on and I know it was on PSP as well, but on the touch screen, it's so funny. You're on a DS, you open it up, you're slinging bags of dope to be. It's so fucking stupid, but a really solid game. And I actually used to bring this to school back when this is probably the only time I ever did bring my DS to school. And all my friends would be like, dude, can I play it? And then like I would just let them go on Rampage. Like, here you go, man, play Grand Theft Auto. And it was cool, man. Like, I was the guy that would let people play Grand Theft Auto. It was cool, man. That was cool as shit. And I just let people go nuts. Hey, man, can I try? I'm like, yeah, dude, just go nuts. Go on a rampage. I don't care. Go crazy, bro. Go get in the tank, dude. Go. And it was fun. It was almost like GTA Junior in a way too. So, very fun game. I would try and stream that, but that might be kind of hard because I think the game needs to have the touch mechanics. I don't know. I guess I'd have to get on the DS. Can you stream
Can you? I have to find a DS and that game because I definitely don't have that game, and I don't know where the hell that went. Let me know. Let me know if that. Let me know in the comments if that's possible. Can you stream DS games natively? Can you do that? That was DS Lite. I don't even know. Anyway, great game, fantastic game. One of my favorite portable games. Love it. Okay, next we're gonna move into a more modern game, Battlefield 1. I say modern, but it was 2016. I love this game. I replay this game like every year. Every year I go back and I'm like, man, I kind of just want to go into the World War I trenches again, man. Shit. Battlefield kind of had a misstep with Hardline. That was the game that came out before this, like the cop simulator Battlefield, which wasn't very good. It wasn't horrible, but it just wasn't Battlefield. And when they announced like this, with that song, I forget who fucking sings that song, but the trailer was great. I'm like World War I, like can you do World War I? Because it's a technology. The technology in World War I, while there is some modern stuff in it, there's not a lot of like automatic firearms the way we're used to in most modern like military shooters. So I really commend them for paying attention to the historical accuracy of World War I while obviously taking some liberties. Yes, they took liberties, but it's fine because the game still feels grounded. It doesn't feel like it's a complete departure from World War I. It absolutely still feels like World War I. It is the best World War I game ever made. I know it may upset some Tannenberg people, but it is this for a mainstream audience. It nailed what they wanted to get across. I do wish that like the stuff they added as DLC was already a part of the game. The game did have a few issues with like content, and in the beginning it was kind of a little rough, and then the launch was a little rough too. But the They Shall Not Pass DLC with the French army is fantastic. Adding the French weapons and tanks. Because I think World War I think France. I just think of France. I think of the French versus the German. That's what I think of. But it even added some not so well-known World War I settings, like the Australians at Gallipoli, which is against the Turks, which very very cool. You just don't see that. You just don't. And then I think it was the third or last one. In the Name of the Tsar. Oh my God, what a fucking great DLC. The Russian Revolution. So it's post World War I. It's a year after World War I. But now you're fighting as the Bolsheviks versus the loyalists. Like that's so cool. How many times in a multiplayer shooter that's really fun? That's so cool, dude. They nailed the vehicles. They nailed the weapons. It's just such a fun game, and it's almost my favorite Battlefield. It's my second favorite Battlefield. It's so crazy that game is my second because like. You criticize modern gaming all you want, but that one stands out. Like that one's a winner, bro. I love that game so much. So good. Similar game, moving back into Star Wars here. You're going to see a few Star Wars games on here. I'm a Star Wars guy. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 2005. I don't think I need to say much about this game that hasn't already been said. It is the best Battlefront game we've ever got. It's a Revenge of the Sith tie-in, telling the story of the 501st Legion on their waning days of the Clone Wars. Their rise as the Galactic Empire, snuffing out rebellions. The campaign was fantastic, narrated by Tamara Morrison. I have a video on this. You should definitely go check this video out. It was a lot of fun to making that one. Go check it out. And it's just a great game that still holds up because of a simple mechanics, great controls, great maps, fun vehicles, and just a time when Star Wars, it felt good to be a Star Wars fan. Now, not so much. But back then, God, it felt good to be a Star Wars fan. And I think, too, that game was so, I think people would agree with me here that game was so good, even if you didn't like Star Wars, it's still a fun game. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't, like, you still, I think most people have fond memories of this game just because of how fun, open sandbox, and just the crazy like, it's just such a fun game. You know what I mean? So good. Next, another Star Wars game. I didn't mean to put that together, but Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. This is a more traditional Star Wars game. It's actually made in the, I think it's made in the Quake engine, Quake 2 engine, I think. This is for all intents and purposes, this is a continuation of Return of the Jedi. What happens after Return of the Jedi before Disney bought it out? You're not playing as Luke Skywalker. You play as Kyle Katarn. Originally, he was the spy who stole the Death Star. He was the original spy who stole the Death Star plans, and he becomes. Turns out he's Force sensitive, and he goes under the tutelage of the new Jedi Master, Luke Skywalker, the Yavin Temple. And this is about some dark side users finding the Valley of the Jedi and them abusing these essentially ill-gotten force powers and making a dark Jedi army. Say what you will about the EU, the expanded universe, and there was some bad stuff in it, but this is so much better than Rey's stuff. This is so much better than 7, 8, and 9. I wish they had borrowed more from this. Whether they used Kyle Katarn or not, they can make a show out of this. They can do whatever. But this Luke Skywalker, that's Luke Skywalker at the Return of the Jedi. In the temple, training a new generation of Jedi, still having problems, but not, and it's just such a good game. They're shooting, you get a lightsaber, force powers, and I think for a lot of people, for me, the offline multiplayer was insane. Because I play this on PS2 and GameCube. The offline multiplayer we played for hours against bots. It was so much fun. Different maps, different weapons. I think up to 16 players. Lightsaber duels. Just so much fun. And arguably the best lightsaber combat we've ever gotten in a game. I think it's aged a little bit, but you can slice people's arms off, heads off. No blood and gore, but there's just so much to love about this game. I love Kyle Katarn, the Rogaine Jedi. I love him. And I spent so much time in this game. I would not be the Star Wars fan I am today without this game, and it has nothing to do with the movies, really. So that's what I love. I will probably be playing this soon on stream. I'm not sure. We got a bunch of marathons coming up, which reminds me, October 1st to 31st, I'm doing a horror marathon. I will be playing horror games the 1st of October to the 31st of October wearing a costume. And December, I'm going to be playing my favorite games of all time, some of the on these lists as well. We're going to be playing from December 1st until the 24th. So make sure you're there. Come join. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of the year on YouTube and Twitch. So make sure you're there. Come follow. Tell your friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next, we're moving into the number 29 slot in that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Again, why does he have it that's so high on the list? What should be lower? If you're on this list, I reiterate that any game on this list is massively important to me. I love this game. It's fantastic. To see all those characters, the hype surrounding this game when everyone is here was insane. And I think this game it is the best Smash Bros. Fighting wise. It just handles so well. Sakurai's nailed the mechanics here. I just think the single player is missing a lot. I know people really like that board mode. And I think that's a fun side mode, but I need a Subspace Emissary. You can't give me Subspace Emissary and not expand upon that in the next games, dude. I need a Subspace Emissary, bro. And because it was called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I thought we were going to get another one, and we didn't. But the roster alone in this game should be worth the price of admission. The amount of third-party characters in this game, mind-blowing. And some really obscure, Terry Bogard from, the guy from Tekken, fucking Simon Bell. What is Steve from Minecraft? Although he's a little bullshit. He's a little OP. Sora. They got Sora. They finally got Sora. I don't like Sora because I don't like Kingdom Hearts. But, bro, Sora's in this game. What? They got Banjo-Kazooie. How long we been asking for that as Smash fans? It's insane. And I'm sure at the next Nintendo Direct, I'm predicting it right now, we're going to get a Smash announcement. And I will be foaming at the mouth. Waluigi better be in it. He better be in it. Anyway, great game. There's not much I can say about it. It's a fantastic game. I love it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know what you think of Smash Bros. Ultimate. Who do you main? Let me know that. Yeah. Who do you main? Who do you main in Smash Ultimate? I do Little Mac and Youngling. Kind of a weird combo, but I'm a weird guy. What are you going to do? Okay, moving next to another fun multiplayer party game. Here in the 28 slot is Mario Party 2. I think this game still holds up. I think this game absolutely still holds up. This to me is the quintessential party game. That sounds stupid. If everyone's coming over for some beers and chips, this I think is the quintessential game. It's bullshit. It's not fair, but it's not fair for everyone, and that's what makes it fair and so much fun. There's some of the best mini games in all of Mario Party, party couch co-op party games like this. Some good boards, some good music. It's just a really, really classic experience that inspired so many. And while Mario Kart's got some good copies and clones, there's not really a lot of good Mario Party clones. Mario Party still it's still king as far as that sort of party experience goes. Which is going to lead me into my next choice, number 27, Mario Party 6, which I think is the best Mario Party. Mario Party 6 is the Mario Party 2 of the GameCube Mario Parties. The problem with the series, they started releasing these every year, and it got worse and worse. I actually still have my my minigame mics. I got rid of the games, but I still have I kept the mics for some reason. This introduced mic mini games, the orbs. People don't like the orbs. I understand that, but I think they had a lot of tactical advantage to the board side of things. Some good boards here, the day and night cycle, and some really good mini games. I think this has the best mini games out of all the GameCube Mario parties. A fantastic game, and I spent so many hours with it playing with my friends, getting way too good at it. And that's something I'd love to play with stream or my friends on stream. I don't know how we do Mario parties. I imagine they're going to come to Switch too. Then everybody needs a Switch too, or we could find out a way to do it on Dolphin, perhaps. We'll see. Don't tell Nintendo. I'm a good guy. Don't tell Nintendo. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Mario Party 6, one of my favorite games of all time. I love it so much. Fantastic. Next, we're going to move into something that may surprise you. I think this is the last racing game I have in here. Flat Out 2. This is my favorite racing game of all time. I don't really care for simulation games. I do like a little bit of Gran Turismo. I had fun with 5, but this is the ultimate arcade destruction derby, smash 'em up kind of game out there, in my opinion. This is a PS2 game, and it has a surprise, like similar with Destruction Derby 64, but a crazy amount of detail in the damage models. Stupid amount of detail for a PS2. Graphically, a very impressive game, a solid soundtrack, great tracks, co-op, and some of the most fun mini games I've ever had in a game. Like where you're probably some of the most fun mini games I've ever seen in a game. Where like you're playing, you can essentially launch your character through the window of the car and throw, like you're playing darts, bowling. Just a really wacky and fun game, and that's something I know I haven't streamed before, and I really want to stream this come December because I haven't played it in a long time, and I'm just itching to get back in and just get in some fucking vehicular. I'm just itching to get in some vehicular carnage, man. I love that game so much, so good. Speaking of vehicular carnage, though, we're gonna move into my favorite PS2 GTA, which is Vice City. I understand San Andreas is the better game. It is. I agree. San Andreas is the better game. It has better shooting, even though it's still not very good. There's more cars, more vehicles. There's 3 cities instead of only 1. The map is massive, and there's a couple things to see and do. There's a lot of content for a PS2 game in there. It is leaps and bounds better than Vice City. It's just a better game. I acknowledge that. But for my money, Vice City is my favorite. The vibes in Vice City, 1980s Miami, is really only a thing I've seen a couple times in games. I don't really see it a lot, and I get that in my next title as well. But I really, really love Vice City. It was the boogeyman of games for a while. I wasn't allowed to play it, and every time I saw someone playing at a friend's house, I was just glued to the screen. I could not keep my eyes off, and and really, I couldn't understand why my mom and dad didn't want me to play it. I really didn't understand. They didn't explain it to me, but like all I ever did was drive around. Yeah, I ran a couple people over, but all I did was steal cars and drive around. That's all I did. And I guess that's not good, but that's it. And really, I think what a lot of parents didn't understand about Grand Theft Auto in the early days was just how freeing the games were. There were not a lot of games in the early 2000s that would let you roam around a massive city, or what felt like a massive city at the time, and just get in a car, get in a helicopter, and just go. You can't really go anywhere. And in Vice City, actually, it's kind of shit because you can't swim. The city is surrounded by water, and you can't swim. Because you instantly die in this game when Tommy touches water. But like, it just felt so open and free. It felt like you could do anything and go anywhere. When really, by today's standards, you can't really do much. But then it felt like that, and I think for historical purposes, I think you should play this game. The remaster now is a lot better than when it came out, so I would definitely recommend checking that out. I may actually do a GTA trilogy playthrough as well. Sort of I'll do the 100. I have 100% of the games before, but 100% runs. I think that'd be a lot of fun to stream. Maybe we'll do challenges, arm curls, something like that as well. That'd be a lot of fun. Really love the game. Massive, massive place in my heart for them. And especially because they were the forbidden apple for a lot of people. So I love them. Next, we go into Scarface, The World Is Yours. This is a weird game. I don't expect a lot of people to know about this. But for some reason, in the early 2000s, game developers were doing movie tie-ins, not only for movies that were coming out, the movies were whatever, but the games were kind of shit. They were doing movie tie-in games for like dude bro movies from the 70s and 80s.
I don't know why. And some of them were actually really good. Notably, Rockstar did The Warriors, which apparently is a really, really solid game. I've never played it. I've never seen the movie besides the guy clicking the bottles. Like, Warrior! He's clicking the bottles. Come out to play. That's all I know from the movie. That's all I know. They're gangs from New York or something. I don't know. But the Godfather game, which is also, that would definitely go on my alt list. That's a really fun mafia game. Really, really good. But there was a bunch of these games that came out. But Scarface, I think, at the time, now hold on to your butts. I think Scarface, The World Is Yours, is the best GTA clone ever made. This came out in 06, good year for games, which means this is after San Andreas. I do think this game is better than San Andreas. I know that's hard to that's a hard swallow to Jesus. I know that's kind of hard to listen to, but this game is all about building an empire, and it feels like you're doing that in the game. There's a purpose to what Tony is doing. It is essentially a direct sequel to the movie, which is kind of funny because if you know how that movie ends, this game is kind of like the antithesis of the whole theme and point of the movie, but it works. It works for a game. You're buying businesses, running powdered sugar to your businesses. The more you buy stuff, the more Tony levels up. For a PS2 game, there is a surprising amount of depth in the gameplay, and the shooting, while not perfect by any standard, was way better than any GTA at the time. The shooting in this game is leaps and bounds better than the shooting in any other the PS2 Grand Theft Autos. I think a lot of people don't really realize that the PS2 Grand Theft Auto combat is horrible, especially Vice City and 3. Oh my God, 3. Oh, it's horrible. The lock on, you can't shoot and move at the same time with certain weapons. It's awful. Only pistols and like SMGs you can. Anything with a rifle, you have to and there's no covers. Like, it's just awful. This game doesn't have a cover system. Oh no, it does. It does have a cover. It does have a cover system. But you won't be using that because you'll just be using Tony's rage the whole time. He goes in this blood rage mode where he fills up the balls meter, pun intended, and you just go around shooting people, collecting money, drug. It's just a really fantastic game. The soundtrack is awesome. The impersonator that got to play Tony sounds just like Al Pacino, close enough for a PS2 game. And there was a sequel being planned, but they never got to make it. And I'm so sad because I love Radical. I love their games. They're fantastic games. Canadian too. Canadian company. So I mean, come on. They're Canadian. They made Scarface. Who doesn't love Scarface? Also great movie. Really fun game. I know what I'm briefly talking about all these games, but each one of these games deserves a video on their own, and I would love to cover that at some point. But really fun game. Next, we go to what is probably my favorite Zelda. You'll see I have another one a little higher up because I think it's a better game, but I think this is my favorite Zelda. This is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the sequel to Ocarina of Time, which came, I think, only like 18 months after Ocarina, which is crazy that they've made a fucking genre-defining game like Ocarina, and then they're like, oh, by the way, here's another one. Oh, okay. This is the one where Link is a kid, and he goes to Termina, and the Skull Kid takes the Ocarina, and you're trying to get back Majora's Mask. The mask is cursed, and this game is all about side quests. Which, again, console gamers getting a taste of like that's something only PC gamers got in like Morrowind. This game is packed full of side quests, and that's where a majority of the gameplay is. Going on adventures, meeting people, and it's a very somber game too. It's a very depressing game. A lot of sadness. The world's going to end in 3 days, and Link has to essentially reawaken these giants in the 4 temples to stop the moon from falling and then stop Skull Kid. There's mass transformations. You can turn into a Goron, a Zora, a Deku Scrub. The aura in this game is just crazy. There's a very spooky ambiance in it that's just fucking hanging over your head the whole time, as well as the moon with his fucking ugly ass face. Just a crazy, crazy game, and for my money, it's better than Ocarina. Not because I'm trying to be an edgelord or anything. I still think Ocarina is one of the best games ever made. But this game, I think, is for a modern audience. I think it's a little bit closer to a modern Zelda game, and it's just such a great experience. Yeah, it's not perfect. Some people don't like the time mechanic. I understand that, but like, you can slow down time. There's not, like, I wish I could do that in Dead Rising. Dead Rising is a fun game, but you can't slow down the time in Dead Rising. I wish you could do that there. I never feel super rushed. There's a little bit of a rush, but I never feel super rushed in this game.
It's just a really fun experience, a classic Zelda adventure. And if you've never played a Zelda, you have to check this one out. We will be streaming that one again soon because I just did Ocarina again. We will be doing Zelda Majora's Mask soon as well. Then we're going to move into GTA 4 Stories from Liberty City. This had all three games in it, or at least it had the GTA 4 with Nico, and then the Lost in the Dam DLC and the Gay Tony DLC. Love this game. Love it. I was a big proprietor of this game when it came out. A lot of people were complaining that, well, it's not as good as San Andreas. There's no jets. I couldn't believe the graphic jump that we made. I could not believe the graphic jump from San Andreas to this game. Like, I was fucking blown away. But the graphical leap between San Andreas and 4 is insane, in my opinion. The physics, the shooting is so much better. It's not great in GTA 4. That's age 2, but it's actually a coherent third-person shooter now. There's cover and different and different weapon. Like, it's just I don't think it was a weapon wheel. I don't think it had a weapon. I don't think the game had a weapon wheel. No, it didn't. But the weapons just feel so much better. The shooting's better. The driving was insane. Feels so heavy, but like grounded at the same time. There's a lot of gravity in the turns, and the damage modeling on the vehicles was insane. That feels like New York City. I had never been, but like, yeah, that's New York, sure. A little bit smaller in scale, and I think originally it was supposed to have like an upper state New York kind of area, like GTA 3 did, but it got cut from the game last minute. But a great game, and I think the best part of it for me is this was their really first attempt at telling a coherent, dramatic story. Yeah, Vice City's got a story. Yeah, San Andreas got a story. There's still a lot of goofiness in all the games, but Nico's story feels very grounded and very, very fresh. It's something you just don't see. An ex-Soviet Serbian soldier escaping the third world, coming to New York, an immigrant coming to New York City or Liberty City in search of something, but they don't let you know what it is until he's looking for someone who hurt him a long time ago, hurt his fellow soldiers a long time ago. It's the only GTA with a heavy Soviet influence, and I think that's really cool because we don't see that very often, and it's just fresh and it was an amazing game, and I really hope the game gets ported to PS5 and Xbox Series X, so I can stream it because I want a 60 FPS version. I think it'd be a lot of fun to play that and platinum that for you guys on stream. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So many great memories of that game, and it absolutely still holds up. And in some regards, it's better than GTA 5. In some regards, absolutely, completely agree. Some people say that, and I agree with it. Absolutely. Next, we're gonna move. This is probably gonna piss off the Call of Duty bros, but my number 21 slot is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This is, oh boy, how do I say this? It's not my favorite Call of Duty of all time. It's up there, but over time, I've realized how broken this game is. I also did a review of this game as well. Definitely go check it out. It's a funny video. But I would be a fool to not acknowledge this is where my online presence started with friends. Like, I played Call of Duties before this, mostly just solo. And I'll get to that because you'll see there's a few on there. I'll get to those later. But this game in particular was so important for me to come home, do my homework first, because I always did it because I can't have not I have to finish my tasks first, which is honestly a good thing because I procrastinate too, but it drives me nuts when I don't have stuff done and I'm trying, like, I gotta get shit done so I can have fun. I'd come home, make sure my homework was done, and then it was time to hop online and play Modern Warfare 2 with my friends. And this is really where that started. This is the first game that the lobbies were full, 6v6. These lobbies are full, dude. There were people waiting in the wings. What happens if you're trying to play Call of Duty now? There's no one waiting in the wings. There's no one warming the bench. I can't even get my friends to play Call of Duty with me because of skill-based matchmaking. Nobody wants to fucking play. And I get it. I totally get it. They're not wrong. But this game was just so crazy. The campaign was amazing. A high-octane, juicy campaign. Your favorite characters are back. Some cool new weapons and gadgets. Some of the most broken bullshit of all time, which I do think would piss a lot of people off now. SPOS 12 models, the noob tube grenade launcher, Danger Close, the fucking chopper gunner with Danger Close Pro. But some of the most iconic maps of all time, some of the greatest maps of all time. and just so many great adventures and just so many slurs being thrown. Like, just like, what a time to be alive. What a fantastic game. And that's really where my online career. I had played online games before with my dad and the PS2 and stuff, but this for me is when I started playing with other people and I started making friends online with people at school and just honestly random people, random people online, which I will get to. Then we're gonna move into my number 20 slot. We're in the top where this video is almost at. Well, right now is recording. We're an hour and a half in. But number 20, Breath of the Wild, man. Oh, Breath of the Wild. Ooh. I think Breath of the Wild is a better game than Majora's Mask. I don't know if it's a better Zelda, though, if that makes sense. There's elements of a Zelda game here with going through the cute dungeons to grab the essence or whatever. You need 4 essences to get more stamina, more hearts or whatever. But I was just blown away at how Link could go and climb anything. You're almost Spider-Man in this game. Borderline, Link can climb any surface you see. You can just climb. You just go. And in 2017, this was an element of freedom that I had not felt in a long time, especially from a Zelda game. Well, Zelda games are open world games, but they're very restrictive and sometimes often linear. And Breath of the Wild really shattered the mold on that one. And I was just so I bought I was in college. I used a little bit of my college money to buy a Switch. I bought Mario Odyssey and this Zelda game, and me and my girlfriend played. We hung out, ate takeout, studied a little bit. It was a really really nostalgic time for me because 2017, it's a little while ago now. But just walking and not knowing where you were going and having a world that big. The world map is massive too. That map is huge, especially for a Zelda game. Like, that's a massive map. And just seeing all the crazy things you could find, all the different weapons you could collect. I do wish that like you could repair the weapons because it sucks you have to keep hunting for them and keep picking them up. But I love this game. It's fantastic, and I couldn't be, I wouldn't be the man I am today without that. Just experience. And if you haven't played this game, please play it. Play at least the first one. I'm not a big fan of the second one. It just feels like DLC to me, which really sucks. But it's still good. But just play the first one, man. It's so fucking good. Puzzles, the way they make you think, it's just so refreshing and a really good take on the Zelda series. Although I hope the next one is a more traditional one. I think they can keep the open world. They can keep the massive open world. They can keep that, but give us traditional dungeons. That's one thing that game's missing. It doesn't have traditional dungeons. I need a long dungeon, buddy. That's what I need, a long dungeon, a good old mechanic. Maybe lock me in there for a little bit. Let me just figure it out, you know? That's what I miss. Speaking of figuring it out, number 19, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, basically just with all the DLC, because the DLC does add a lot to this game. I remember when this game came out back in 2015, I was foaming at the mouth at work. I literally raced to EB Games to pick it up at the midnight launch of the game, and I drove back home, and I played it probably till 6 in the morning. I was hooked. Fallout games are all fantastic. All of them are great. I love them all, but Fallout 4 just felt so special because now it was on PS4, updated graphics, updated shooting. Finally, thank God. The combat is so much better in this game than the other ones. Jesus Christ, it's night and day. But for me, one of my favorite things of the game, and I hope people agree with this, the junk system. I thought the junk system in this game made this game for me. I don't even mean the settlement building, which I like that too. People didn't like that, but I loved it. For a early PS4 game, that settlement building works really well. It works better than it should. They did a fantastic job with that settlement stuff, in my opinion. But just how every piece of junk is useful. I love that. Because in other Fallout games, you'll find stuff. You'll find batteries and old, containers, tin can, whatever. You find junk everywhere. And it's used for specific recipes. Whereas in Fallout 4, you break down the stuff to its raw components, like some sort of survival game like Rust or whatever. And then you use those components to build quite literally. Maybe you want to build a shack to store your stuff in. So you build a shack to store it in. Maybe you need to make some bullets or put a suppressor in your gun, an extended mag, put a stock, add another, scope to your rocket launcher. It requires bolts, nuts, adhesive, duct tape. You have to go find the stuff, and you keep bringing all this junk back to your base, and you build you can build multiple bases. And I hate to be a Todd Howard stan here, but it just works, man. It just freaking works. So I was infatuated with it. I platinumed the game. I love it. And I think everyone should play this game at some point. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to do a playthrough of this during December for in honor of Fallout Season 2 coming out, which I'm very excited to see that show. So, but a very fun game. I love it. The story's not so good, and they dumbed down a few of the RPG mechanics, which I'm not too happy about. The perk system is not that good, in my opinion. But the junk system, that you take that and add that to another Fallout or Starfield, put that in Starfield, man. I don't know why they didn't do that. Next, in the 18 slot, I've got my favorite Battlefield of all time, Battlefield 3. This was really not my first Battlefield. I did play Bad Company 2, which is a solid game, but Battlefield 3 was the first one I dived into. I spent hours on it. My dad played it a lot. I played it a lot. Some of the best maps in the series, some of the best weapons in the series. The best way I could describe this to people who haven't played Battlefield or Battlefield 3 is this is the Modern Warfare 2 of Battlefields, if that makes sense. For Call of Duty fan, that's what Battlefield 3 is. It is high, fast killing weapons. Some of the most overpowered. The mortars in that game were insane. The mortar was ridiculously powerful. Oh my god, it was powerful. And some weapons were locked behind certain factions. There was a great co-op mode. Just a really fun game that I miss so much. The music, the art style, fucking massive aura, and I really yearn for the Battlefield 3 days. And after playing Battlefield 6, we might be in business, buddy. We might be in action there. So we'll see what happens. Next, we got Luigi's Mansion. Speaking of a game with aura, holy shit, this game has aura. I have streamed this game before. I might stream it again. Such a fun game. You can beat this game in an hour. But the aura in this game is just insane. Being Luigi, going to this haunted mansion, the ghost looks so cute. The art style's fantastic. It was a complete departure from anything we had ever seen. And a lot of people at the time were really upset. I totally get it because they wanted a Mario game. This was the launch title for the GameCube, or I believe one of the launch titles for the GameCube. My GameCube came with Double Dash, though. I had a bundle for mine, so I didn't get this. I picked this up. I picked this up at a not a Blockbuster, but a family-owned video store, and I loved it. I loved it. It's essentially Resident Evil Junior, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but that's essentially what it is. It's a fixed camera. You're playing as a third-person character, Luigi, and you're going through room to room in this haunted mansion looking for keys. Certain keys only unlock certain things, and certain items that'll help you progress through the mansion, through the levels, or I guess the main level. But there's backtracking like Resident Evil. There's creepy door animations like Resident Evil. This is Resident Evil Junior, and fuck me, do I love some Resident Evil Junior. Fantastic game. I'm not a big fan of the sequels. The sequels aren't that good to me, but hey, what are you gonna do? I still love them. Yeah, the sequels aren't that good to me, but they just don't feel the same. They changed up the art style a little bit. This one is just, it's so good. Next we have the Call of Duty that started it all for me. This was the first Call of Duty that I played seriously. This is my number 16 slot, Call of Duty World at War. This was the first Call of Duty that I played online. Not so much with friends, because that was Modern Warfare 2, but I played this on the Wii online. And that's why I have really big forearms. It's not because I stayed inside and jorking it the whole time. No way. It's because I had a Wii and I had to aim for a whole year straight while playing this game. And I got really good at this shit. The Wii version of this game is not a good port because it doesn't have zombies mode, which sucks. But eventually, when I got this on the PS3, I got over my fear of zombie mode, and this game really sort of helped me cope with my fears of horror and scary things, and it definitely a game changer. It is the quintessential World War II Call of Duty, in my opinion. A very graphic game, probably the most graphic, like the most gore in any Call of Duty. The ambiance, the aura in this game is very moody and scary and depressing. This game is not trying to glorify World War II, which you could argue some of the earlier PS2 Call of Duties and like PC ones did. It is a tribute to those soldiers who fought and served. Thank you for your service, but there's a little bit of Hollywood glorification. This game does not do that. This is not a glorification of World War II. This is the horrors and the tragedies of World War II, which was a different take for the time, but it is the most visually different and thematically different Call of Duty ever made. So for me, and for its introduction of the zombies mode, come on, it's up there. And then we go into Wii Sports, number 15, Wii Sports. You could have put Wii Sports Resort here as well, but you could put both games here. I would like to I'd say both games. I can't put two pictures in the slot. I would if I could, because both games are fantastic. The reason I have Wii Sports there is because, I mean, bowling and golf are in Wii Sports Resort, but baseball, I love baseball. Baseball is probably my favorite sport besides golf. But Wii Sports Resort has just more to do. The sword play stuff was a lot of fun. The archery was a lot of fun. So it's interchangeable here. I'm saying both, either or. It is pretty much the same game. But for a launch title for the console to be this good, this successful, is crazy. The Wii was definitely a gamble to have motion controls all the way back in 06, 07. A huge, massive gamble, and it fucking paid off for Nintendo huge. The Wii is one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and I think that's partly because of Wii Sports. It was a game that anybody could play. It was a hard game to master, easy game to pick up. Your grandma could play it, your mom could play it, she did. You played it with your grandma and your mom, your dad. Everyone played bowling. There was tournaments on my street, like the whole families, like united together playing. Like what? That's not going to happen with a Grand Theft. That's not going to happen with any other game. That's crazy. Like, it brought so many people together, broke a lot of TV screens, but people weren't wearing the wrist strap. Got to wear the wrist strap. Just really fun games, and also with the Mega Boss Matt at the end. Matt is also a crazy Mega Boss in that game. Guy's fucking scary. But going pro, just going pro, just getting over 1,000 points in any sport. Oh, you went pro. You got the sparkly ball, dude. Whoa. I don't think everyone went pro. What happens when you go pro in golf? I don't even know. What happens when you hit pro in golf? Because in bowling, you get the sparkly ball, and in boxing, you get golden gloves, I think. I don't even know what happened. That's actually a good question. I don't know. But there was really fun, like training mini games, and it was just a really fun game. And I'm so sad I don't have it. That's something I would love to stream. I got to figure out how to do that because I should have the room to stream it in here. My room's a little small, but I should have room to do that. I think that would make for great streams. Next, we go into one of the best games ever made, The Simpsons Hit and Run. It's my number 14. I made a video about this game too because I love it. It's just such a good game when it shouldn't be. It's well written. It's funny. But when arguably the golden era of Simpsons writing. The story is coherent. It makes sense, and it's very Simpsons. The driving is very arcadey and responsive. It's fun. This is a GTA clone. And when this came out, I would argue it was on par with GTA. Vice City blows us out of the water, but this is a GTA 3 clone when they started. And I'd say it's on par with GTA 3. There's not much more in GTA 3 that you can do that you can't do in Simpsons Hit and Run. The world's not as big, and it's been cut up into sections. It should be one massive open world, which apparently there's mods for that, which I'm going to have to check out too because I want to stream it. Because I think that was the original idea, to do a massive open world. It's not. It's cut up into levels. Which is unfortunate, but there is a stupid amount of vehicles in this game from The Simpsons. You wouldn't think there'd be that many vehicles, but there is in Simpsons lore, which is kind of crazy. Very funny game, very silly story. I think a lot of people my age grew up with this, and this was their first taste of a GTA-like game. And besides I'd say this is one of the best GTA clones. And there's not even combat in this game. You can't even kill people. It's Simpsons, so why would you? I guess, but there's not even combat. So it's purely just vehicular craziness, and it works. It works very well. So one of my favorite games of all time. I still have a copy of this. I never got rid of it, and I think that says a lot because I got rid of most of my other games. I still have that one. Next, we're going to move into my number 13 slot, The Ghost of Tsushima. This came out in 2020. It's from Sucker Punch Studios, the guys who made Infamous. I'm not a big fan of Infamous, but I was like, you know what? It's a samurai game. Let's check it out. This is the best Assassin's Creed game ever made. This is the best Assassin's Creed ever made. The story, I don't think is the best of all time, but I do think the person versus person relationships are actually kind of potent and tell a different story about feudal Japan. Jin's dissension into becoming the ghost, into going against everything his father and his uncle would have taught him to become an honorable samurai to save Tsushima, to save their island from the Mongol invasion. I think is a pretty solid conflict. I don't think all the characters in there are amazing, but Jin is compelling enough. And I think the setting is very compelling. You might be like, well, Chetty, we always see samurais in Japan. Yeah, but when do you see like just feudal Japan? I mean, like no magical powers, no samurai weird bullshit. Just, you can like mark people and see through walls and stuff like that, like every open world game. But like Eagle Vision, or I don't know what it's called, Samurai Vision, whatever it's called in that game. But it's just samurai. You don't have a magical sword. You don't have any force powers. You know what I mean? Like you're just a samurai. That's it. Samurai sword, a bow and arrow, and maybe some kunai. That's it. It's what you think a ninja or a samurai is. It's the samurai ninja power fantasy, and I think that's why it works. Graphically, a very impressive game. This game came out in 2020, so obviously it's fairly recent. Still looks very good. It plays very. If you haven't played this game, play it. The combat is super intuitive, very fun. Multiple enemy types. The game may get a little repetitive towards the end, similar to like an Assassin's Creed. But this is the best Assassin's Creed game ever made, and the Shadows was 5 years too late. They missed the boat. They missed the boat, and I'm very excited to play. I'm very very excited to play Ghost of Yotai, which is coming out very soon, and I will be streaming that when it comes out. So stay tuned for that, guys. Next, we got God of War 2018 from my number 12 spot. I was not a fan of God of War before I played this, and it made me one. The aura this game has is insane. The acting is fantastic. The father-son relationship between Atreus and Kratos is one of the best in gaming. The themes, the idea of how to handle godhood, the brutality of godhood, the mythos, the being it's almost a fish out of water story too, where Kratos he's Greek, he's from the Hellenistic society of mythology and Greek gods. Yet he's here in Norseland and Norse mythology, and they're like, you don't belong here. And there's a lot of things happening in this game. The combat is so beefy and brutal, and I love it. It's a fantastic game, and I it made me go back and play the originals on PS2, and they're a little more hack and slash. This is a little more adventure, but still very very solid games, and I'm happy. I'm hoping we get a third one. The second one was still pretty good, not as good as this one. But I'm really excited to play a third one. Apparently, it might be Anubis, Egyptian gods. Very interesting. If you're a Percy Jackson girly and you haven't played this shit, I don't know what you're doing. This is for the between us ladies, between us girls, it's for the Percy Jackson girls. It just like it's so good, dude. Such a great game, and maybe that's something I think I'm gonna stream that too. I keep saying that, but I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stream that. Then we go into number 11, GTA 5. I've sunk hundreds of hours into this game. This game has evolved over time. GTA Online is worth the price of admission alone. But I think the story is still pretty solid. This is a modern depiction of Los Angeles, Hollywood, in the early 2010s, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. There's the amount of detail in this game. Graphically now on PS5, the 60 FPS, it looks great, it plays great, and it defined high school for me. Me and the boys played this all the time. The races, oh my god, don't hit me, bro, don't hit, like just so much crazy shit. The heists, doing the criminal mastermind challenge. I actually helped my friends do the criminal mastermind challenge, and I died, so I didn't get the $10 million bonus, but I ended up still helping them do it anyway. There's just so much to say about this game that's already been said, and I'm super excited for GTA 6. Let it happen. I'm ready. I'm ready for GTA 6. Come on, we're ready, baby. But it's really, really solid game, and high school it wouldn't be the same without it. Okay, now we're moving into the top 10, and this is where it gets crazy. Payday 2. Payday 2 is something that is near and dear to my heart. It's an indie game. I'm not a big fan of indie games, or at least it started out as an indie game. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of indies, but this game hits different. It is different. You're bank robbers where you upgrade perks, guns, weapons. A lot of replayability. The missions are structured in that it's procedurally generated, so things won't be in the same area they are in certain areas, kind of like zombies mode of that, like the shield part's here, this part's here, blah, 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 yada, yada. But the amount of co-op fun here is insane. Me and my buddy Sharp Scopes, like this all will always remind me of him and the good times that we had together, the amount of hours we had in this, how good we got at the game, to a point where like some missions were just a science for us. We had it down to a science. Framing frames, stealing the paintings, sneaking around, the stealth gameplay in this. It's insane. I will say it is hindered now. It's age because the shooting in this game is absolutely dog shit. The combat feels like ass. If this game had combat similar to Call of Duty or something like that, it would be one of the best games ever made. Simple as that. If it had Call of Duty's buttery smooth gameplay, it like it would be the best. I love this game. It has a special place in my heart, and I can't really say much more else about it because it's you got to play it. And I think we're gonna stream that as well. I'm gonna keep saying that. Chad. Okay, next, another Rockstar game. Max Payne 3, number 9, Max Payne 3. Holy shit, what a great game. Max Payne 3, a third-person linear shooter, the third in the trilogy of the Max Payne games. A brooding, self-loathing, drug-addicted, washed-up detective. Inner monologue, noir, just high-octane John Woo shooting. A great, great stylistic game that made me want to play the first two. I haven't played them yet. I'm waiting for the remasters to come out. And just a great game. Fun fact, when I played this game originally, I just got my wisdom teeth out. So I was taking painkillers when I was playing this game. So there was a little bit of like immersion. I'm like, oh, Max, it's bad. I'm taking my pills. And you're taking your pill. Oh, my God. Because that's how you heal in this game. Max takes opioids to heal. That's what he does. He's addicted to opioids. It's not that I was, by the way, not that I was, but I'm like, oh God, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. I was a teenager. I was stupid. I was dumb. Mine ran out way before Max's did. I only had a week supply. Max is on a lifelong supply, and for some reason he just he'll kill a bunch of bad guys. He's like, oh good, some more opioid. I mean, I guess the streets runneth with him. I guess I don't know. But just really great shooting mechanics, a fun multiplayer, which is really surprising, and a story that isn't that in depth, but like I just think Max is a really relatable character, just so self-loathing, very relatable. Number 8 slot goes to Balatro or Balatro, what do you want to call it? This game came out last year. I was actually having a surgery when this game came out, and I saw my friends play it. I saw my friend Mr. King play it, and I thought it was the stupidest game I'd ever seen in my life. I saw him playing. I'm like, dude, what are you playing? This is stupid. This is dumb. And then I picked it up for the first time. This game is more addicting than crack. This game took over my life. Essentially, it's a roguelike deck builder where you're playing poker hands to beat bosses with points. A boss has 1,200 points. You need to play poker hands that are ranked at certain point orders to beat them. And you go to shops to earn money, and you buy certain cards to you earn money to buy cards, to buff your hands, to play certain hands. It's a very, very, very addicting game. I've actually platinumed the game. I've 100% of the game. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I'm so happy. It was made by a Canadian. You've seen me play this game before. It's a fantastic game. What an amazing ending. It should have won Game of the Year, in my opinion. Came out of nowhere. The style, the graphics, everything about it. It's just, the music will get stuck in your head because you're constantly coming back. The game will beat you to a pulp, and then you'll still come back for more. It is just a fantastic game, and I can't believe that a modern game became one of my favorite games of all time. It's just such a good game, and I would not be the man literally a year later I am today without it. I like, try it, just try it. And if you don't get addicted in the first 3 games, then I don't know, you're a stronger person than me. Next, we're gonna move into number 7, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Favorite Star Wars game, hands down. This game, maybe the most time I ever spent on a game before. I've never 100%ed it because I never looked anything up. I had the ability at this point to look stuff up, but I never did. This came out after the second game, which was the original trilogy. But this has all 6 movies in it with all the characters from all 6 movies, the best movies. It's Lego. It's cute. It's funny. That you could create a character. There was tons of collectibles. The combat was fun enough to keep you there engaged. There's boss battles. It's simple. It's stupid, but it inspired. These did so well that's why there is other Lego games, because that's what gave them the like, hey, what if we do Indiana Jones? What if we do Harry Potter? And those are all good games too. But Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga for me, it came out when I was a kid. I love Star Wars. I love Lego. I love Lego Star Wars. The sets, some of the sets in the game are very collectible now. Uh, and just a very, very fun game to play with people. Drop in, drop out co-op, which I love. Um, just a fun game to run around and explore, and the music's on point, the characters are on point, like it's just, everything in there is fantastic. And yeah, I wouldn't be the man I am today without it. 100% love that game. I wish that got a port with trophies instead of the Skywalker Saga, because I really hate 7, 8, 9. I really hate them, but I really wish that got a port, because I would play it in a heartbeat. Okay, then we move to number 6, Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Another game I sunk hundreds of hours into. I love this game. It's fantastic, mainly for the Subspace Emissary. I know there's problems with this game and the fighting. I understand that. But that Subspace Emissary is so important to me. Me and my friends sunk so many hours into that. It's so special. Just to see all of your favorite Nintendo characters on screen in cutscenes like that is insane. You fight Rayquaza as Fox McCloud and Diddy Kong in a boss fight in this campaign. Like, what? The opening hours of the game, you are fist fighting Rayquaza as Fox McCloud. What? That's insane, dude. That's crazy. You're jumping across all different genres and different franchises, fighting bosses from their respective games. And if the new Smash Bros, like, it just needs it. It needs a Subspace Emissary with the cutscenes. It's just, come on. This game added some great characters. Added Wario. He was a newcomer this time. Pokemon Trainer, one of my favorites. And this was the first Smash Bros. Game to have third-party characters. This was the first game to add someone outside the Nintendo roster. Sonic and Solid Snake make an appearance. Two, not just one, but two third-party characters. And I'd argue Solid Snake is a crazy addition. That's the first guy you're going to add. Sonic makes sense. That makes sense. Solid Snake, that's crazy. That's insanity. And I don't think we'd have Smash. We can't have Smash Ultimate without Brawl. That's just it. So I love it. I even love playing on the broken ass Wi-Fi on the Wii with this. It was a lot of fun. It was busted, but such a fun game, and I love it. Number 5, baby. Number 5, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. There's not much I can say about this game that people haven't said before. One of the best first-person shooters ever made. The Pick-10 system online was fantastic. Some of the best maps in the entire series in any first-person shooter. A very addicting game. Black Ops 2 Zombies was fantastic in my opinion. I loved Transit even from the beginning. I know people didn't. I understand, but I loved it. Mob of the Dead, come on. Origins, what a great season finale. Holy shit. Black Ops 2 Origins is basically Black Ops 3 Zombies, and Black Ops 3 Zombies is the best. But Origins with the staffs, the Easter eggs, really just fleshing out the ideas that they've been working on for years. Great maps. And the campaign's really solid too, with branching path stories and choices you make affect the ending of the game. Menendez is one of the most infamous villains in all of, I'd say video games, but I'd say Call of Duty, at least Call of Duty. A really solid sequel and one of the best shooters ever made. But for my money, my number 4 slot goes to Black Ops 1. I think Black Ops 1 is the better game. Multiplayer was fantastic in my opinion. The snipers were a little busted and broken, but that's okay. That's okay. You're supposed to sit back on them anyway. No quick scoping. Quick scoping took a hit here. I'm fine with that. I think Black Ops 1 was fairly balanced besides the 74U. 74U was a little bullshit, but overall, I think it was a great game with great maps. This is the best campaign ever. Black Ops 1, bar none, is the best Call of Duty campaign. It is the most coherent written story. It's got a shock in the end, a twist that you probably didn't see coming. 1960s Cold War, Soviet era, a flashback to World War II and some secret stuff with the Soviets, chemical weapons, sleeper agents, and just a really unique setting that we just really hadn't seen before for Call of Duty. We hadn't really. This was the first 1960s Vietnam era Call of Duty that we had seen, and man, the marketing for this game too. There's a soldier and everyone. The marketing was fantastic. And Kino der Toten, Zombie, like, it's just such a good game. And this was probably my best. This is probably I had 2 KD in this game. I was crazy good at this one, dude. As far as 2 KD is not the best, but I was good at this one, bro. I was good at that game, and therefore I love it. So yeah, I have so many fond memories of that one. Such a good game. It's where I started watching a lot of YouTubers like White Boy 7th Street and shit like that. C Nanners, Sark. That's where I found them. So the early Machinima days. So, yeah, fantastic game. At number 3, Mario 64. I made a video on this game. Go watch it. It's a great video. Go leave it a like. One of the best games ever made of all time. I know some people don't like it, but Mario just the controls alone. Mario handles like a motherfucker in this. He handles so well in this game. It is stupid how good he handles. He should not handle that good, but he does. And for that, I love the world. I love the music. I love this game. It's so this was the first game I'd ever played in my entire life, so you can understand why I love it. And it's something I've streamed a couple times, and I just love it, man. It's just so good. And then I cheated in the number 2 slot, Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I couldn't pick one. It's a bundle. I couldn't pick one. Because really, they are the same game. I treat this as like a Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul kind of situation. Where like, yeah, it is 2 different shows. Yeah, it is 2 different games. But like, it's part of any of any Rockstar game, they are direct sequel. Like, it is directly related to each other. And they're the same. John's in them. Arthur, like, it's the same characters. It's a continuation of John's story. I have never played a game to have such great gameplay as well as such a solid story. I love Dutch. I hate Dutch. I love Arthur. I love the characters. I love the world. The outlaws are on the run. You listen to Dutch's bullshit the whole time. Then you meet him in the first one. Like, there's so much love. They're long games, 70 hours plus of content, beautiful graphics, and probably the best Western games ever made. Yeah. Not much else I can say about that. And then the number 1 slot, I don't think this should surprise anybody that I've talked about it on stream before, but there it is. I'll show you right there. Fallout New Vegas is my number 1 favorite game of all time. I love that game so much. It is by far the most fun I've ever had with a video game. The amount of exploration, the weapons, the choices, the music, the setting. I loved Fallout 3. I had a lot of fun with it. But Fallout New Vegas was my first game. Because I saw the commercials for Fallout 3 and I was afraid of it. I was scared. Like, there were zombies. I was scared of it. But when I saw what Fallout New Vegas was, the gameplay is like, whoa, an open world first, whoa. I begged my parents I begged them to get it to me. Like, please, Mom, for Christmas, please get me this game. She wouldn't get me Grand Theft Auto, but she'll get me this. And I just sunk my whole life into it. I love everything. I love the characters. I love the lore. The lore is so good. I love the lore. The lore is just fantastic. The vaults, Mr. House, stopping the nukes, the Brotherhood, the Legion, the NCR. It's Fallout 3 with blackjack and hookers, man. Like, I love it so much. I love Fallout politics. I like the politics in this game. I think it's interesting. Should the NCR get to rule the whole Mojave? What if the Legion does? Yeah, the Legion might murder everyone, but it'll be safe because no one messes with the Legion. What happened? Or should you rule? Like, there's so many layers to this game, and this game's got problems, dude. It had problems when it launched. The shooting sucks. Everything is brown. There's a lot of problems, and I still love it. I'm willing to look past certain things and problems for certain games and certain things because I've never played a game like it ever. I've never played a game with so many different World War II, Western, cowboy, tribal. Like, there's just so many different things that go into this game, and it's just I want to do a full-on video of it, but it would be an hour long. This is a 2-hour long. This is more of a podcast, a solo podcast, than anything, guys. But the game means so much to me. We streamed it a bit last month. It was so much fun. We met some cool people, and it's just such an important game. My dad also played a lot. We had different files going. My dad loved it, and it was one of the last things I got to play with him before he died. There's just so many reasons why I love the game, and it'll forever have a place in my heart. And I'm forever grateful that I got to play it, and I got to stream it for you guys, play it for you guys. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna end this 2-hour long video. Holy shit! I apologize. That's really long. I'm not even gonna edit this video. I'm just gonna put it up with all the mistakes. I'm just gonna put it up. Fuck it. Put it up. I don't care. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. I love you. Bye, guys. Bye.